What is the most important reason you should inspect your vehicle before driving? Safety is the most important reason to inspect your vehicle. A thorough check catches defects before they cause crashes. Inspection done. Let's roll. What is the minimum tread depth for tires on the steering axle? 4/32 of an inch. Enough tread ensures proper steering grip, especially in wet conditions. Tread confirmed. Moving on. Why is it important to check for blind spots, and what are some ways to do this? Checking for blind spots is crucial for safety. Use mirrors, turn your head, and use a helper when backing. Cover all angles so no vehicle or person goes unnoticed. Blind spots clear. Next up, what is the proper hand position on the steering wheel? Both hands should be placed on opposite sides of the steering wheel. This gives you maximum control and balance. Hands set, onward. How far ahead should you look when driving a commercial vehicle? 12 to 15 seconds ahead. This lets you spot hazards early and plan responses. Eyes forward. Next. What does the suspension system do? It helps the vehicle ride smoothly and safely by absorbing shocks. Smooth travel reduces cargo damage and driver fatigue. Ride smooth. Moving on. What should you do if a front tire fails, blows out? Grip the steering wheel firmly with both hands and stay off the brake. Let the vehicle slow naturally to avoid skid or loss of control. Tire handled, onward. How should you handle a tailgater? Increase your following distance and avoid sudden changes in speed or direction. More space ahead reduces risk of a rear-end collision. Space given, next. When driving in heavy fog, you should use low-beam headlights. High beams create glare-off moisture. Low beams cut through. Fog managed. Let's go. What is hydroplaning and how can you prevent it? Hydroplaning occurs when tires lose road contact on wet surfaces, reduce speed, and avoid driving in puddles. Slower speeds and good tread help tires stay in contact. Wet roads, stay safe. What are some signs of driver fatigue? Difficulty focusing, frequent yawning, and drifting from your lane are signs of fatigue. Recognize them early to take breaks before a crash. Rest pending, next. What is the legal blood alcohol concentration limit for a CDL holder operating a CMV in Florida? 0.04% or higher, lower than the standard 0.08% because of commercial vehicle risk. BIAC noted onward. What happens if a CDL holder is convicted of a DUI while operating a CMV in Florida? Their CDL will be disqualified for at least 1 year for the first offense. Strict penalties protect public safety on highways. Penalty set, next. What is the purpose of the Gross Vehicle Weight Rating, GVWR? It is the maximum weight the vehicle is designed to carry, including the vehicle itself, fluids, driver, passengers, and cargo. Staying under GVWR prevents overloading and mechanical failure. Weight known, next. What is the purpose of the Gross Combination Weight Rating, GCWR? It is the maximum weight of the powered unit and its towed units combined. Ensures safe operation when hauling trailers. Combo weight clear, onward. When is it legal to exceed the posted speed limit in Florida while operating a CMV? Never. Speed limits apply equally to all vehicles for safety. Speed obeyed, next. What should you do immediately if you are stopped by law enforcement? Pull over safely to the right side of the road, stop, and remain in the cab unless asked to exit. Keeping your hands visible shows cooperation. Officer, stop. Onward. What is the primary function of hazard warning lights, four-way flashers? To warn other drivers of a vehicle breakdown or hazard. Blazing flashers alert everyone to your disabled vehicle. Hazard set. Next. If you stop on a road or shoulder, how should you place your warning devices, reflective triangles or flares? On a 2-lane road, within 10 feet of the front or rear, 100 feet behind, and 200 feet behind. If on a one-way road or divided highway, 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet behind the vehicle. Proper spacing gives oncoming traffic time to react. Warnings placed, moving on. What is the leading cause of preventable crashes? Driver inattention or error. Focus keeps you aware of changing conditions. Eyes on, next. How do you check that the service brakes are working properly? The vehicle should not pull to either side, and brake pedal should feel firm. Uneven pull or soft pedal indicates a problem. Brakes tested, next. What does the slack adjuster do in an air brake system? It adjusts the distance the brake pushes when applied to compensate for lining wear. Maintains correct brake stroke for safe stops. Adjuster tuned, onward. What is the minimum air pressure that the air pressure gauge should show for safe operation in an air brake system? At least 100 psi in both the primary and secondary systems. Pressure below this risks partial or total brake loss. Pressure good. Next. How do spring brakes work? They are held back by air pressure. If air pressure is lost, springs apply the brakes. They act as an emergency or parking brake. Springs ready. Next. What is brake fade and what causes it? Loss of braking power usually caused by excessive heat from overuse of brakes. Repeated heavy braking overheats linings until they glaze. Brakes cool. Onward. How can you prevent brake fade on a long downgrade? Use engine braking and proper gear selection to control speed using the service brake only for supplemental slowing. Minimizing continuous brake use keeps them cool. Downshift done. Next. What is the purpose of the low air pressure warning signal in an air brake system? To alert the driver when the air pressure in the service brake system falls below 60 psi. Early warning prevents unexpected brake failure. Alarm heard. Moving on. What action should you take if the low air pressure warning signal comes on while driving? Stop the vehicle immediately and safely and do not drive until the pressure is restored and the cause is found. Driving with low air is extremely dangerous. Stopped safe? Next. What is the maximum allowable movement at the pushrod when the brakes are applied with the engine off? Typically, no more than 1 inch. This can vary slightly by vehicle, but excess play indicates a problem. Excess travel means worn or misadjusted brakes. Pushrod checked. Onward. How do you test the service brakes on a commercial vehicle with air brakes? With the vehicle stopped, apply the brakes firmly and check for a drop in air pressure. Then, at a low speed, apply the brakes and check if the vehicle stops smoothly and without pulling. A pull or delay indicates a brake issue. Service tested. Next. What is the main danger if the trailer hand valve is used alone to stop a combination vehicle? It can cause the trailer wheels to lock up and result in a jackknife. Independent trailer braking unbalances the combo. Valve noted. Onward. What is off-tracking? The tendency for the rear wheels of a combination vehicle to follow a different path than the front wheels when turning. Wider turns are needed to avoid curb strikes. Tracking clear. Next. When coupling a tractor to a semi-trailer, what is the first step after backing the tractor squarely to the trailer? Check the fifth wheel and area around it to ensure it is clear and properly prepared. No debris or misalignment means a safer lock. Area ready. Next. Before backing under a trailer, you should ensure the fifth wheel is tilted down towards the trailer and that the locking jaws are open. Proper positioning lets the kingpin seat securely. Fifth wheel set. Onward. After coupling a tractor to a semi-trailer, what is the first test you should perform? A tug test by gently pulling forward with the tractor against the locked trailer brakes to ensure a secure connection. This confirms the kingpin and jaws are latched. Tug successful. Next. What is the function of the glad hands? They are coupling devices used to connect the air lines between the tractor and the trailer. Proper airflow is critical for brake operation. Lines connected. Onward. In a two-line air brake system, what are the colors of the service and emergency airlines? The service line is typically blue, and the emergency line is typically red. Color coding prevents misconnection. Lines identified. Next. How do you test the trailer service brakes? By using the trailer hand valve, trolley valve, to apply the trailer brakes separately. Listen and feel for even braking on the trailer. Trailer tested. Onward. What is the danger of a false coupling? The trailer is not securely connected to the tractor and could separate while driving. Always double-check the lock before moving. Coupling secure. Next. What is a safe speed to use when backing a commercial vehicle? The slowest possible speed, no faster than a walking pace. Slow speed gives time to correct and avoid obstacles. Back slow. Next. When uncoupling a trailer, what is the first step after the trailer landing gear is lowered and supporting the trailer weight? Pull the fifth wheel release handle to unlock the fifth wheel jaws from the kingpin. This lets you separate tractor and trailer safely. Onward. What is the purpose of the kingpin on a semi-trailer? It is a heavy steel pin on the front of the trailer that locks into the fifth wheel of the tractor. This connection carries all trailer steering and weight loads. Kingpin locked. Next. What should you look for when inspecting the fifth wheel before coupling? Cracks, bent or broken parts? missing bolts, and that it is properly lubricated. A sound fifth wheel prevents coupling failures. Fifth wheel safe, onward. What is the potential hazard of driving with the trailer landing gear not fully raised? The landing gear could strike obstacles such as railroad tracks, speed bumps, or uneven road surfaces. It can damage gear and destabilize the trailer. Gear up. Next. What is the proper procedure if you discover a defect that affects safety during a pre-trip inspection? Do not drive the vehicle and report the defect immediately according to your employer's procedures. Safety overrides schedule. Get it fixed first. Defect reported, onward. How should you check that the turn signals and brake lights are working during a pre-trip inspection? Activate the turn signals and step on the brake pedal, then walk around the vehicle to confirm all lights are functioning. Clear signals prevent misunderstandings on the road. Lights checked. Next. What should you check for when inspecting the tires on your vehicle? Proper inflation using a tire gauge, adequate tread depth, and any signs of damage like cuts, bulges, or foreign objects. Well-maintained tires reduce blowout risks. Tire health, onward. What is the minimum number of tie-downs required to secure cargo on a flatbed trailer? Enough tie-downs to prevent the cargo from shifting or falling, typically at least one tie-down for every 10 feet of cargo length, and at least 2 tie-downs regardless of length. Proper tie-downs keep loads stable in transit. Cargo tied. Next! What is the primary purpose of a header board, headache rack, on a flatbed trailer? To protect the driver and cab from forward-shifting cargo during sudden stops or collisions. It's a safety barrier for your cab. Rack secure. Onward. What is the most important factor in maintaining control of your vehicle while driving on a curve? Entering the curve at a safe speed. Speed control prevents rollovers and loss of traction. Curve ahead. Next. If a tailgater is following you too closely and you need to slow down, what should you do? Increase your following distance from the vehicle in front of you to allow for a more gradual stop, and gently tap your brakes to alert the tailgater. Gradual deceleration and signals warn the tailgater without causing a panic. Stop. Tail tamed. Onward. What is a significant risk when driving a vehicle with a high center of gravity, such as a loaded trailer, especially on curves or ramps? Rollover. Keeping speed low and making wide turns reduces this risk. Center managed. Next. What is the proper technique for backing a large commercial vehicle in a straight line? Use your mirrors to monitor your path and make small, precise steering adjustments to keep the vehicle going straight. Mirror-based corrections avoid oversteer. Align straight. Next. If your trailer starts to skid, jackknife, what is the first thing you should generally do? Stop braking and get off the accelerator, allowing the vehicle to straighten out. Removing forces lets gravity and traction realign the rig. Jackknife managed. Onward. What is the most crucial adjustment to make when driving in slippery conditions, such as rain or ice? Significantly reduce your speed and increase your following distance. Extra time and space compensate for reduced traction. Slippery, handled, end of set.